Good afternoon, it's Monday and I'm pressing the wrong buttons and Lee needs a wee and everyone's running around and it's how it is. It's Monday night, no one knows what day it is anymore. This is Radio FreakJam and tonight I bring you the what if. They're over there, that way. I can never get this right, lads. They're there they are, and there and stuff. It's the what if generation. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, good mate.
Good.
You?
Not too bad.
Good.
It's just one of those nights. Buttons aren't working and stuff and things. So, but we don't care. We're here to talk about music, not pressing buttons. So, what's going on?
Drink beer.
Oh, don't. Yeah, let's let's get that out of the way. Cheers, lads.
Cheers. Cheers.
Pete, you're teetotal, aren't you?
Pretty much, pretty close to.
He's been known to
That's as good as I can do.
make the odd bottle of vodka on.
The odd bottle of vodka, Pete. This is a new one for me. I've never seen you had a drink.
Only on stage.
It's news to me too.
So, I mean, let's sort of...
It's vodka and Coke without the Coke.
Okay, why not? That's nothing bad.
Cheap night.
Cheap date, exactly. So, Pete, really, you are the link to Radio FreakJam or the FreakJam because you and I have known each other quite a long time.
This is true.
Well, I must be going back, 10, 12 years, if not longer?
I think, the first time I went to the Jam was 2006.
Right, okay. So, 14 odd years.
So that's 14 years.
That's cool. And that's when you were with the Metronomes with Laura and Lee Drinkwater. So shout out to those guys. And Ben, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was the first time I went. It hadn't properly come together, but there was talks of it. Because I remember I watched Lee that night and he was in contention to join. So I was kind of watching him to see how he played and stuff like that. So,
right.
Because obviously I was in a band with Laura before that, briefly. So it was sort of after that band split and before the Metronomes formed when I first went down to Jam.
And then I get a phone call this summer from Lee, who tells me about his band, the What If Generation, and it just turns out that you're in it because this music industry thing has less than 6 degrees of separation. I think we've got a bit of a delay going on here.
It's a small world.
It is a small world. I'm just going to try and refresh you guys. I think we've got a slight delay, so bear with me a second. Definitely with Pete there. So Lee, how do you know Pete? How does this all sort of fit together?
That was through another guy that Pete had played with, a guy called Paul, I believe his name was. He was a bit of a multitasker, drummer and bass player. And I can't remember who we were playing with at the time, but as guitarists come and go, don't they? So he introduced us to Pete, really, and Pete, yeah. If only that were true. If only that were true. But then Pete. So Paul introduced us to Pete. Pete rolled up, and there was no looking back, really. For
And
me,
Jamie,
anyway. That's
how
for
do
sure.
you fit into this?
I was actually through, one of my dad's old best friends turned out to be Lee's cousin, and I'd been travelling away for about 18 months. I got back, hadn't really picked up the sticks for the whole time I was gone, really, and probably about a year before I went, I hadn't really been playing much drums, so I wanted to get back into music, and my dad's friend, Robin, his name's Robin, he emailed my dad and said, is Jamie still interested in joining the band? And that's how I met Lee, really. I went round for a rehearsal, and the rest was history.
And here you all are today. Where's the bass player? I mean, it's probably not a good question to ask, to be honest. But
he was sighted on the Isle of Wight.
Isle of Wight. Well, at least you've got a location.
He's emigrated. We've tracked it down.
So, over the lockdown, you guys have been working on, how do I say this? Doing some demos.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went on for a little while, and really sort of gave us a bit of time to stick some bits together. We've just been over with Niall Squire over at Cobham Sound, and tracks together for us that we'd pre-recorded were not very good in the mixing and all the rest of it. Niall sort of a few. He saved them for us. Really, that's what he did, and it led us on to sort of trying to release something, getting a video done. That's how we come to you, I guess, Ian. Really.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it's all sort of met. So what I want to do is just to give the listeners a bit of an introduction to your music. I want to play it again and again, if I can say it. We'll play the video, and then because all the rest of the stuff I haven't really heard either, so it's going to be very fresh to me. I only got it today, so it'd be interesting to sort of sit through, talk about some of the tracks, and you know what you've had to do to sort of recover them, and you know about the writing process and stuff like that. So let's watch again and again, and then we'll come back. We'll see you in a minute.
Can you hear all that I hear? Do you see the same things as me?
There we go, again and again by the What If generation. And I have to say, without sounding too big-headed, haven't watched the video in a while, and it really, really works. And one of the reasons I think that video works is Jamie. Jamie, your drums are really the backbone of that track. And I want to say the word busy, but that sounds quite negative. But there's a lot going on in your drumming. It's not just straight sort of beats. Is that just your style? Was that just for that song?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I play, really. I like a lot of syncopation and a lot of ghost notes. Yeah, that's kind of my style, really, I'd say. I like to keep it quite busy, but not overplay, you know, just keep the groove going, but busy grooves.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. And obviously I used a lot of your cymbal work for the transitions in the videos. You'll see the snaps and the changes on your cymbal work. And it's, from a video making point of view, it was a really nice piece to work with.
Oh, nice. Nice to hear that. Thank you very much, yeah. No, you've done a great job on the video, by the way.
Thank you very much. I mean, you know, a lot of that was down to Lee, and Lee telling me, you know, what he felt the song was about. So let's have that conversation, Lee. You know, what was your brief to me for the video, so sort of people understand why we ended up with what we did?
Just that for me, it was pretty much what's going on around us every day. Really, and I was just sitting there messing about the guitar one day, and it was like, do people see the same stuff as I do, really? And it all sort of stemmed from there. It wasn't supposed to be like any kind of sort of environmental song or anything like that. It's just how it came out and how I was feeling at the time. Yeah, and still do. I think we all got a touch of that inside us, you know, that we want to look after where we all live.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a good way to get something across.
So technically you were the blind man in that track.
Yeah, you could say that. Good analogy. I like it.
Yeah, I like that, because obviously that's the stance we took with the video. Was the blind man was the sort of one wondering if the world was seen the same as he did.
It feels like everybody's fumbling about a little bit at the minute, right?
I think we all are. We're all making it up as we go along, right?
Yeah.
Some call it adaptability. I call making it up. Busking. So Pete,
Same thing, isn't it?
But yeah. You know. Pete, lots of great guitar work on that as well. I mean, and I think you guys capture a very Muse-like sound, especially in that middle eight, where we've got the guitar solo and that going on. There's a lot of Muse elements in there. Is that an influence in the band, or?
It's not one we've ever discussed. I think for me, it was just trying to accentuate the dynamics of the song, really. Try and play something quite gentle that complemented the verses, and then try and make the choruses nice and big and powerful.
And how about that middle eight? Where did that come from? Is that something you wrote on the guitar, Lee? Is that something that was added with the band afterwards?
I just normally bring the ideas. I bring the ideas down to the studio, so I'll have sort of melody or a little riff that I'm messing about with, and it all stems from there, really. We jam it for a few weeks, or however long it takes, and it just sort of grows itself and becomes what it is. And then when we're kind of happy with it, we kind of try and stick to what we've done, really.
So it's like an organic sort of evolution with the band.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's it's a collaboration of all of us. You know what I mean? So that's the way I sort of see it.
Influences, let's just go around the room with Lee first, then Pete, then Jamie. What influences do you bring to the band?
I've got a wide range, probably like all of us. I'll go back to Lead Belly and old folk and old country music and stuff like that, which I love. Even old Irish stuff and that my parents used to listen to, my grandparents. Right up through the 90s, loved all the stuff through the 90s, like Pearl Jam and Nirvana, obviously, Soundgarden, all that kind of groove, Guns N' Roses. But I'm open to all kinds of stuff, absolutely everything. So all that sort of stuff and more sort of comes out of me now and then.
Cool. And how about you, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a rocker first and foremost. I mean, when I started listening to music, it was all the kind of big stadium rock and kind of the bands that played in the arenas and the stadiums, and then alternative rock came along, and I love a bit of that as well. just stuff with guitars in, basically.
Okay, anything with guitar in, that sounds fair play. And Jamie, yourself?
Well, there's a couple.
Yeah, mine's. I mean, I used to love the classics and the Who, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. Used to love John Bonham and Keith Moon. Obvious reasons, but yeah, Audio Slave. I like a bit of Audio Slave and anything that makes your head bounce and your foot tap. You know, anything that's got a decent sort of rock groove to it. I love all sorts of music, but rock's my main thing. But I mean, yeah, I've got so many. I can't really, but wide range, got a diverse music range.
I think that's what it's about. I mean, you know, we can all pigeonhole what we listen to and what we like, but obviously what you need to do is try and bring different experiences together, and that's where the music evolves. I mean, are you guys into prog and sort of any sort of prog metal or anything like that? Because you kind of have got a prog sound going on as well, a little bit.
Yeah, that's where I think the whole range of influences and that come through, what we've all picked up over the years, and it's just all stored in the brain, and it kind of comes out artistically. But yeah, I think it all just comes out, and it's what we listen to. You know, someone will come up with a groove, and we'll start jamming and stuff, and it might be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So
cool. Well, let's have another track. I mean, I don't know what we've got. Any suggestions on what should be next?
what's on the list?
Yeah, I've got... What have I got? I've got Grim Limousine.
Yeah, let's play Grim Limos.
Grim Limo. Okay, does anyone
Yeah,
sort of give me a quick overview of the track?
I don't know. I wanted to go and record the video for this one in like Arizona or somewhere like Las Vegas or something like that. So you better pack your cameras up at some point.
I'm ready. Just let me know. You know, all expenses paid, obviously. Yeah. Right, let's listen to this then. And obviously we'll need a limo. So we'll have fun. It'll be good.
Revelations on the edge and the damage done. Evil spirits in the black house, should have stayed or make a run. I said, there's a wind is blowing hard now. Danger sits in my right hand. Take me back to where I come from. Take me back to make a stand. I said, we're standing in the corner with a gun in your hand. Standing in the corner with a loaded gun, my friend. Midnight stars are coming out now. A different sound in the desert shout. There's a waitress going solo in the trunk of a mystery car. I said, all her friends said she would go far, not on the cover of a magazine, but laying low down, getting dirty in the back of a grim limousine. I said, we're standing in the corner with a gun in your hand. Standing in the corner with a loaded gun, my friend. Come on! Over top now, getting low down, dead trees and blood red sands. My head is so clear now, but all I see is a desert sea. I said, just a loaded, always loaded. I don't wanna make a scene, so I'll be heading out of town now, driving out in a grim limousine. I said, we're standing in the corner with a gun in your hand. Standing in the corner with a loaded gun, my friend. Come on!
And that was Grim Limousine there. I mean, guys, that's a lot more balls out, rock and roll, bit of punk in there as well. So obviously some starkly different influences in that one as to Again and Again, but you can hear the same band. So go on, story of this track. What's it about?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. It's just again what I was writing at the time. I guess I wanted to go to the desert or something somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It was just. I think I'd probably watch Pulp Fiction again or something like that, and some of those influences on some of those tracks and that were floating around in my head. So yeah, I tried to kind of replicate sort of something like that, I guess.
Yeah, so it has got that sort of Americana sort of desert edge to it. You know, sort of maybe the sort of thing you see in Breaking Bad or something like that.
I can't wait to get into the video with that one with you, actually, Ian, to be honest.
Well, we can talk about that. As I said, if there's a trip to Arizona in a limo, I'm on board, mate. It's not a problem.
So I've set it down.
I don't eat a lot. It's all good. Drink a lot, though. Just saying.
Beer's pretty cheap.
So, you said the writing process is quite an organic thing with the band. Is it just you that brings ideas to the table, Lee, or do everyone else sort of bring their own ideas? You know, do you all write lyrics? Is that a personal thing for Lee? How does that work?
At the moment, yeah, I write most of the lyrics and that, which is cool. I think Jamie's got a little book tucked away somewhere, which we might tuck into once we get the first 2 albums out of the way. But yeah, but as I say, it's like a collaboration. So I'll just bring the basics, or I'll bring the framework, and then we just build off of that, really. So it works quite well for us lot. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a starting point. How about you, Pete? Do you write tracks yourself? Is that something you're into?
It's something I used to do a bit more back in the day, really. I haven't done it for a while. I was messing around with a few ideas during lockdown, trying to use my time a bit more productively. But it's something I used to do a lot more when I was younger. But we'll see how it all evolves, you know. Might start chucking in a few ideas here and there. But we all play a part in evolving the songs, really. As Lee says, he comes in with a framework, but they turn into quite different beasts once the rest of us have got our hands on them.
That's a good thing. So, Jamie, what's this book you've got hidden away?
It's not anything I want to bring to the table just yet, really. It's just silly ideas, and I come up with my piss sometimes, and I write down some ideas. But yeah, I'm no songwriter, but they're there. Silly ideas and stuff. But yeah, I'm not a confident songwriter at all.
I think you know,
when
having
we
a
all get in the
book,
studio, just kind of happens, really.
having a book or some notes that you can go back to is it's a very important thing as a songwriter, because sometimes that idea, it might come to you, but you might not be able to finish it or take it forward at that time. Yet you might have an idea 6 months down the line that fits neatly with it.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if you guys.
Well, I read them back the next day, and I almost feel like throwing them in the bin. So.
We got a bit of a delay with Jamie. 1 second, Jamie. I'm just going to try reconnecting to you here.
It's a good port of call for me at some point. When the lyrics get thin on the ground, I might be tapping him up for a few lines, through filling lines here and there.
I mean, you've got to look at artists like David Bowie, who used to literally cut words out of magazines and draw them out of a hat at random and rearrange them into sentences.
Well, Sky's a good one. Sky's a good one. Just flick all through the channels. All through the channels on Sky, and you get all these different words come up, which I've not done yet, but I sort of worked that out a little while ago. And it's a good one. There's some crazy stuff that comes up. Just flicking through all the different things, the hypnosis and that are coming up, man. Yeah, names of the programs, that kind of stuff.
Any way you can get inspiration from is a good thing these days, and we all find it in different places. It's just most of us don't record it, and then we forget it the next morning, and then we're buggered. So Jamie's on it, he's recording it. So, looking at the chat room here, guys, we've got a few people in there. Dave Adaway, that's my Lily.
It's my cousin Dave.
There you go.
Ask him to join us.
We got Dave Bryce, he liked the last track, Grim Limousine, and Richard Carr from the Moose Men has just added again and again to his Spotify playlist. So,
Oh, fantastic.
there we go.
Many thanks.
Some new fans.
Thanks
That's
very
what you want.
That brings us up to about
Yeah,
11.
thanks very much.
Well, we'll try and get you some more tonight. That's what this is all about, and playing some of the band stuff. So, is the rest of this music available yet, or is this a bit of a debut?
No, I think we're going to do a follow-up to Again and Again shortly, so we'll probably pick one of those tracks that you've got your hands on at the moment, to be fair. And we'll probably release all of them as we go along, to be honest.
So, I've got Mick's song next. So, the big question here is, who the hell's Mick?
Mick was a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, and he was taken, unfortunately. He was sort of in his early 50s. I won't go into, but had a terrible accident. He was taken a bit early. He sort of, he just went through sort of a whole bunch of stuff in hospital and that. He was a fit guy and stuff. Went through a whole bunch of stuff. Got himself well, and then had a really bad accident, man, which sort of ended his life. And I just felt. Yeah, and I just felt, just again, it was just something that I was feeling at the time. So I wrote that, and I gave it to his wife, gave a copy of it to his wife and stuff. Just for me, it was a personal thing. He'd done a lot for me. He was a good friend. So, and that's the only way I could really express myself in that situation. So that's what I did, and I just went off on my own and recorded that one. So,
and that's why we write songs, right? It's an expression of our feelings and our opinions of times that we live in, and it's a constant memory. So it's a nice little tribute. I think it's one of the nicest things a songwriter can do for someone is write them a track. So let's have a listen.
Yeah,
This is
let's do. I've known it for ages.
Say nothing, say nothing, I will see you again. Give me something I can hold on to, so say nothing. I will see you again. Don't hear it, but the void is deep and long. Don't want to fear it. Still too frightened to repair. There ain't no fire without a spark, and you can trace it right back to the start. So say nothing, I will see you again. Say nothing, I will see you again. I'm so sorry, I didn't really want to go. And I'm so sorry, but I will see you all again and again. Say nothing, blink it and blind. Say nothing, too shallow in mind. But the shadow bends and drowns your brain. All you wanna do is hide away from the world today. Wanna see you today, 'cause I'm so sorry, I didn't really want to go. And I'm so sorry, but I will see you all again and again.
That's a really nice track, man. Really like that. You can definitely hear the country influence that you've got there on that chorus.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, definitely in there. Bit of country, bit of every. As I said before, a little bit of everything. You know, it's not intentional. It's just kind of what comes out. You know, so
You kind of do a nice job of, as a band, of tying that all together as one sound. So you know you can still hear that is a What of a Generation song, even though the last one was a bit more balls out rock and roll, and the other one was a bit more sort of spacey, musy style. So I think that's the ability of a good band, is to be able to tie those influences into their own experience.
I don't think we ever really wanted to just sound the same. Do you know what I mean? I know I don't mean to disrespect any other bands or anything, but some bands just sound the same. All the songs are in the same sort of bounce along in the same sort of way. And I just wanted to sort of make the songs different. Do you know what I mean? Each song that we do. So.
And did you say you
Which I think
recorded that on your own without the band?
I did, yeah. I was transitioning. That's a good few years old now. I'd hate to put a number on it, but it's probably about 5 years old, that song, or maybe a couple more. But
quite interesting that I felt the drum. Who was drumming? Is that a drum machine?
that was a drum machine. Yeah, I just took myself off one afternoon to a little studio over in Shepperton and sort of laid that down. But yeah.
But I think the sound of the drums and even the style of the drums you've got there is very similar to what I feel Jamie would play on it.
How bizarre. Yeah, I guess, yeah. We do play it now and then. We do play it, rehearse it now and then when we're sort of going through it now and then. We've got so many songs, though, we don't always get round to some of the ones we like to play. But we do play it. And,
how many tracks have you got?
I don't know, maybe in the 50 range mark, somewhere like that at the moment. But I've probably got about another 6 in my head at the moment that I'm sort of developing.
Quite a prolific band. Is he hard to keep up with, Pete?
Absolutely, yeah. There's no shortage of material, and it's always very difficult if there's ever a lineup change. The poor sod who comes in and has to learn 30 songs all at once.
I can see that. And how about you, Jamie? Do you struggle to keep up with him?
Yeah, I do indeed. But we've been playing for quite a long time now, so we've got a good repertoire that we all know pretty inside out. Really, we're pretty tight now. But
does he crack the whip?
We come out of something new, you know. There's always 2, 3, 4 songs in each. Sorry.
Does he crack the whip? Is he one of those sort of songwriters?
Not really, no. He doesn't crack the whip. No, not one of them people that would just...
You look nervous then, Lee.
We all kind of just...
We all work hard. We all want the best.
I missed that, Ian. What was that?
I said you looked nervous for a second there when I said that.
I was just wondering what people were going to say there. It's just quite interesting.
So, you know,
but we
lockdown.
work together really as a band. We all feed off each other without any effort really, which is nice.
Yeah, but, you know, mate, when you're producing, like, you know, 50, 60 songs like that, you know, and everyone's got to sort of come in and work out, you'd be hard to keep up with. I'd struggle.
There's no pressure ever, though. There never feels like there's any pressure. I don't know if the others feel like that, but for me, certainly not. But I don't try and come across
There's never no...
I think it's great. I think it's great that you can actually churn out songs to that, and I mean to a very good degree of quality. You know, each song that we've heard tonight really stands its own stead as a piece, and comes together as a band. And obviously, you know, not everyone is that prolific. Everyone writes in their own pace, and you know, you've obviously got a great talent for it, Lee. If you're sitting out there churning those sort of ideas out, and then as a band bringing it all together. So, how many albums are we looking at here?
we could do 3 at least. At least.
And when's this happening then?
When we all get rich. I don't. We've not even looked about doing an album yet. God knows how much it would cost. God knows. It's quite frightening, but we'll just keep releasing singles at the moment and see how we go. Really.
So obviously, I don't want to sort of upset everyone, but gigs. You know, what do you feel the future of that is for you guys? Did you have anything planned? Have you had to cancel much? What's been the deal with all of that?
Yeah, we were supposed to play Shine Fest
Had a-
this year, which would have been,
Yeah.
so we missed that. And we had a thing going on in
Alongside
Frome.
Top Loader.
Yeah, we had a thing going on down in Frome and a few other bits, and we're just going to fill the diary up, which hasn't happened, obviously, for anybody.
Yeah. So, you know, has this lockdown sort of, besides obviously getting chance to work out your demo and your recordings and sort them out, has it sort of produced any sort of more band ideas? Have you got together and done any sort of lockdown tracks or anything like that?
No, but I think it's something we're certainly going to look at, because everyone seems to be doing online gigs or whatever, or little live shows and that, so perhaps we'll look into doing something like that. I know it's not quite the same, you don't get the atmosphere, but we'd enjoy it anyway.
I think that's a lot of what it's about. I mean, you know, Jamie, have you found yourself just walking around the house hitting everything?
I do that pretty much on a daily basis anyway, really. Always smash up my kitchen when I'm cooking and got some plans, get a good lever in. But yeah, it's been a funny time for everyone, hasn't it? Really, it's been quite frustrating for a lot of people, I think. And I've still kind of gone about my day, but I know Pete, for instance, he's got older parents and stuff, so it's been a lot harder for Pete because he doesn't want to take the risk that I've kind of just gone out there and just still carried on with bits. But a lot of people can't do that, so it's just, you know, it can be frustrating for people, I guess, at the moment, because
I think we're all in that
just a lot of things,
time,
isn't it?
aren't we? You know, it's so Pete. I mean, have you had any lockdown epiphanies, anything like that?
Not really. As I say, I was working away on a few musical ideas at the start of it, and then as usual, you know, you go into your old habits and get a bit lazy, and these things dry up a bit. But yeah, I mean, I've been very lucky, really. I've been working from home most of the time, so I've been able to kind of stay safe. But yeah, it's strange times.
I mean, I think at the start of lockdown, you had about 2 weeks worth of fear and wondering what the hell was going on, and then you had about a month of people going, "I'm at home. I'm drinking regularly, and it's a bit of a party, so we're going to chill and enjoy that." And I think that kind of passed, and then everyone's starting to get bored. I'm certainly itching to get back on the stage, so we need to work something out as soon as we can. So let's have another track. What we got?
Yeah.
How about Sick? Does someone want to sort of give me a... Jamie, do you want just to give me a take on Sick?
I love Sick. I really do. I think it's a great sounding track, and this was kind of written when I joined the band. Leader already had the lyrics wrote and kind of a lot of the music to it, so I just kind of grooved down to what was already there, really. But I really like Sick. Really like Sick.
All right, well, let's have a listen to it. I've had a brief listen to this one, and I like it too. So I hope the rest of the guys do as well. Make sure that's lined up. There we go.
I'm sick and tired of playing the game, boy. I'm sick and tired of playing the game. Everybody knows, boy, you're licking on them bones, boy. So why don't you just put them down and head on home, boy. Skin so itchy, it feels so tight. Feels like I got the devil right by my side, and I know he won't do me no right. Leads me down to the fireside where I see all my so-called friends getting high, and I know it's time to go home. It's time to go home, boy. So out away from the world outside, and I'm just sitting here ripping holes in my pride, and I try to pick myself up so many times, but I keep getting swallowed by that crimson tide, and I know it's time to go home. It's time to go home, boy. Seems like I got the devil right by my side, and I know he won't do me no right. Leads me down to the fireside where I see my so-called friends getting high, and I know it's time to go home.
Oh, quick ending on that one. Wasn't expecting that. Come on, guys. You normally have a bit of something at the end.
That was a little filler track.
A
filler track. Yeah, a few years back we had like about 9 ready songs or something for a gig. We needed one more, so I just wrote that real quick. To be honest,
I think it's got a really strong chorus to that.
Say that again. Sorry.
It's got a really strong chorus.
Yeah, that's the magic work of Niall Squire there for you. He really done a good job on that for us. I really like the double up on the tracks and the echoes and stuff like that. It's wicked.
But just from a writing point of view as well, you know, that hook, it just gets stuck in your head. And obviously, you know, when I write songs, you know, verses, middle eights, as much as they're important, it's that chorus that's got to be killer. It's that you want running around everyone's head till they're totally annoyed with you. You know what I mean? That's the selling point. So strong chorus there. So we've mentioned that what happened with these tracks. Why did we have to go and remix these? What was the deal there?
We've done a recording studio somewhere else. So I obviously won't mention any names, and it just wasn't done right, really. And we were a bit naive in that at the time. I guess we hadn't done a lot of recording, so. Well, it didn't work out how we wanted it to work out, really, at the end of the day. So we held on to the stems and all the rest of it, and eventually found Mr. Squire, who done a good job on us for a good rate. It was happy days. So we didn't want to waste them, so we saved the tracks at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, and they are sounding great, guys. I mean, sometimes it takes another set of ears, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, it does.
I don't know if you do much home recording, but this is a chat I've been having quite a few people who are trying to get into this now, and it gets to a point where they don't know when to stop. You know, they don't know when to stop doing another take, or they don't know when to stop doing another mix, or, you know, because you try and hone it, but quite often you take it too far and make it sound bad.
Yeah, that's that's the good thing of having a good producer on your side. Really, he's been at it for a long time and knows, you know, he listens to the tracks, our tracks, Niall, and he knows pretty much what he needs to do with them. So,
and how much sort of influence did he have? Did he make you come in and re-record any parts? Did he work purely with what he had?
Yeah, we wanted to record a couple of little bits, a couple of bass lines were redone and some vocals and stuff. So. Pete done a couple of a bit of over tracking on some tracks, I believe, and done some new tracks as well, some new tracking. And the drums, unfortunately, had to stay.
Go on, Pete.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, after we did the original recordings, I wasn't very happy with my guitar parts. That was a big part of the problem with it, really. So, long story short, I got Logic. And I did try and re-record everything. As you say, didn't really know when to stop. Recorded all sorts of stuff. And then poor Niall had to make sense of everything I recorded and figure out what was good and what to ditch. And then, he got Lee into the studio, did a few vocals. Jim did a few bass bits. And then the whole thing got remixed and sounding a lot more professional than it did before.
It does. It sounds great. And how about yourself, Jamie? I mean, did you go and do any overdubs, or is that all you from the first time round? Because, you know, you're better than the rest of them.
No.
Oh, what have I done?
Oh, Lee.
I think that was
Yeah, what have I done? I don't know what I've done.
I think you're trying to show. You're
You
trying to
ready?
display your screen. Turn
I'm not,
screen
so it's
sharing
weird.
off.
Yeah, I can't even see right now.
Put your glasses on, man.
I've not bought any yet.
While he's sorting that out, Jamie, you know, how was the recording process for you? Is it something you enjoyed, or are you more of a live drummer, or?
yeah.
Hey,
I love both really. Yeah, I do. I love both. But
okay.
no, I didn't re-record with Niall. I'd quite like to. I really would like to with Niall. I think you'd get a real nice drum sound from him as it goes. But I done it at the place that Lee was on about where we recorded first of all. So my tracks were kind of down. But so I was happy with my drum tracks on Sick as far as I can remember. But I know there was a lot on Promise that I wanted to redo with Niall that we haven't quite got around to doing yet, but I think that's in the pipeline. But no, for Sick, as far as I can remember, that was all from the original recording, I think, wasn't it, boys? I can't really remember. I think that was all from the first recording for the drum track, wasn't it? Yeah, so
Seriously, I like all of it.
for
The
drumming
drum
track.
sound works really nicely. The snare sound, especially, and obviously because you're quite active on the snare, that snare has to sound right, and it cuts just beautifully. Everything's sitting really
Yeah.
nicely, guys. You know, you should be very proud of what you produced.
Yeah, come on,
brilliant.
do
Thank you.
So we got one more
Great.
track. So we'll listen to that, and then we'll come back, and you can tell everyone where they can find out more about you, where they can find your songs and bits and pieces like that, and then we can say cheers, and we can go off and get drunk or whatever it is we're going to do after this. Plan?
Well,
Plan. Right. Okay. So Stranger. Anyway, go on, Pete. Give me your take on this track. What do you think of Stranger?
Well, this is one of our bass players' favourites, so we should give him a shout out while we're
Just
about
going
to
to say,
listen
yeah,
to it.
it seems gutted that he's not.
He's in the Isle of Wight. He's fine.
It's quite, to me, it's quite an American sounding track. It's major key, which is not something we do very often. So it's a bit of a different vibe. To me, it's quite a sort of American-y, kind of Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen-y type of vibe. So yeah. See what everyone else thinks.
All right then, here it is, Stranger.
Wasted nights and seen your face in so long. 'Cause I've been dreaming, wondering what went wrong. Places I go, people I see don't see me. The shadows walk inside my mind, I don't see. I said, long time stranger, I've seen your face 1,000 times. I said, long time stranger, is it you or are we back in time? Back in time. Back in time. Back in time. Back in time. Head turned, it was not you whom I fooling. You left this place, rocky ride for your old life. I said your old friends are still hanging around the music bars, but you escaped the cards they dealt for you. You could have taken me too. 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 taken me too. You could have taken me too. You could have taken me too. You could have taken me too. Deal my casket, just like you showed me to, 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 just like you showed me to.
That was Stranger, the What If Generation, and Jamie was having a good old sing along and air drumming in the background during that. I saw you,
didn't know you
Jamie.
could see me, Ian.
Ah, you see, I can see you all, mate. I can see you all. You're enjoying yourself, and that's really nice to see. Are you one of those drummers that sits at the back singing your little heart out?
Not really, no. I don't really do singing, to be fair, yeah.
Well, you look like you're enjoying yourself there.
I like to sing something in the shower.
So, guys, start with, thanks very much for joining me tonight. It's been a lot of fun, and it's nice to hear some other tunes from you guys and catch up. But let's, what can people expect in the future, and where can people find more about you if they want to go and do that?
Pete Gillespie.
Deferred to you, Pete.
The future, hopefully some new recordings. That'd be the nice thing to do. Get some new recordings and get them out there. Where can you find us on all the social media channels you could think of? I think Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube. Obviously, Again and Again is out now everywhere. It's on Apple Music and Spotify and Deezer and all sorts of things I've never heard of before. So yeah, we're out there.
I have to say, one of the guys from Spotify came out this week and basically said that if artists weren't happy with the money they were getting from Spotify, they should release more than an album every few years. But I'm thinking, with you guys, with Lee and his prolific writing capabilities, you can earn a fortune on there. Do you know what I mean?
Chance to be a
That's an idea.
Just keep, write a song every week, release it, and then maybe you'll make some money from Spotify. I doubt
we
it.
could get to £12.75.
Imagine.
Has the single been good, or are you still waiting for the sales results on that? How's that done?
I'm not too sure. I sort of let Pete does all the sort of tech. Well, he's been a legend lately in doing. He's got us on about 30 playlists. He's set us up on Spotify and that, because we're obviously, me and Jamie, as you know full well from today's escapades, are quite crap on social media and anything to do with computers. So Pete's been taking the reins.
The biggest one.
I don't know what it's doing in terms of sales, but it's got 2,939 streams. So we're just trying to get it out there, really, get it on as many playlists as we can, and a few radio stations, online radio stations have played it. So it's been quite educational. We're learning how it all works.
Shine Fest played it for us, didn't they, a little while back? That was cool of those. I think they showed the video as well.
And obviously the pinnacle of all online radio stations, Radio FreakJam.
Radio, of course, yeah.
That's
So
what we
I-
all aspire to.
Exactly, yeah.
Cheers, Pete. I'll pay you later. Lee, I do think that you need to join us. Now we know this works, you need to join us on a Thursday and give us a live acoustic number. Don't you agree, Pete and Jamie?
Yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll probably be up for that, but I'd need to practice a little bit. I've not been singing much lately, obviously, because of what's been going on. But yeah, give me a week or two to stretch the old vocal cords out, mate, and I'll come and chuck a couple of numbers down for sure.
I think we'd all enjoy that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So let's do that. Guys, it's 10 o'clock. We haven't got any more music. You've got all these songs written. I've only got these 5 to play tonight, unfortunately.
I know, we need a good patron that owns a studio.
Well, you know, there's always... If you talk to Josh, do you know Josh? You know Josh, didn't you, Pete?
Rings a bell.
Josh
Been a while.
Bacon, Joshua S. Bacon, check him out. He has got a studio. It was called Drum Key. It's now called Roadhouse Studios. They're over not far away from Mr. Bumble's, sort of Tilehurst way. And he's got a great studio. It's been featured on Radio FreakJam more than me, I think, and I've been on every week. So he's got a great studio over there. If you do need someone to talk to, he's a very, very clued up person and knows what he's doing.
Fantastic.
I'll put you in touch. I'll Facebook
yeah,
you in
yeah.
with you guys.
Look into that.
You can talk. So yeah, guys, any messages? Let's go around the room. Any messages for your fans, friends in these mad, mad times we live in? Any wisdom or advice?
No wisdom and definitely no advice, but just stay safe.
Pete,
So say all of us.
Jamie,
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, just everyone stay safe, keep your chin up, do what you're doing. We'll get through this and
Hopefully we can play
gig soon
music.
when we're back up and running.
Well, hopefully, you know, we can get you actually down to Bumbles to the actual
Yeah.
jam night when we're back down there. It'd be nice to see you guys come and play us a couple of numbers down there.
Oh, for sure. We'd be happy to
That'd
do
be
that.
brilliant. Yeah, that'd be great.
Wicked, just want to say thanks to everyone for joining us in the chat room
yeah.
tonight. They seem to like the tracks, guys, which is a good thing. We've got the jam night this Thursday
Thanks everyone for listening to it.
we've got the jam night this Thursday with Phil Reese as a co-host. We've got our Saturday night quiz on Saturday. Who's John the Hare? John Warren is quiz master for this week, and we'll have another unsigned session next Monday. I don't know who with yet, because I've been lazy and haven't sorted it out. But I'm honest. Guys, say goodbye to everyone.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully see you live sometime.
Thanks everyone.
See you later,
Thank you.
guys.